Happy Easter Monday. I hope you've all enjoyed a really nice relaxing weekend. Not sure how relaxing mine was with my lovely children running around doing Easter egg hunts, but hopefully you've had a nice time and you're looking forward to having a really nice relaxing sigh of a yoga class this evening. If you are ready, get your rolled up towel and or some pillows. Both if you have, no worries if not, just run around and grab what you have, and then we will come down onto the mat. So we're going to start off, just going to close this, sorry, we're going to start off sitting on our shins. If that's not comfortable for you, then no worries, at any point you can come down to sitting cross-legged. Again, I know there's some pre and postnatal ladies, so again, if you need to sit down and cross your legs, don't quite cross your legs, just place one in front of the other at any point, that's all good. So there's a couple of positions that we can get ourselves into. If you've got two pillows, what I like to do is just place one full out and then roll the other one up so that we've got a little bit of a perch to sit kneeling down. So I know some of you will be like, oh no, I can't sit like that because it's not so good for the knees. If it's not feeling good on your knees, please don't sit like this. You can always come and sit in an alternative position, which is to place a pillow underneath your, on the back of your thighs, so that when you come down, you're sitting nice and comfortably. Again, any of those variations is all good, but if you're feeling uncomfortable at any point, come into crossing the legs. And I hope that you all enjoy this evening's relaxing practice. So here we go. Relaxing your palms to face up onto the knees, rolling your shoulders up, back and down, noticing if there's any creaking going on in those rolls, seeing what's going on for your upper back, for your shoulders, for your neck at this evening's practice. Drop the head from left to right, just an acknowledgement really that perhaps there may be a little tension there. And then come to rest in the centre. Allow your chin to fall down towards your chest, your eyes to gently close. So most of the time when we're sitting in this upright position, we're really thinking about lengthening the spine up and dropping the shoulders down. We're not so concerned with that at the moment, just settling in to a nice comfortable space this evening. So again, those eyelids are heavy, the jaw is relaxed. We're coming into a slow, steady flow of breath. Again, if at any point this becomes uncomfortable on your knees, please move into one of those alternative positions. Allow the back of the neck to grow longer as your chin grows heavier towards your collarbones. Just spending the moment here, noticing your body. Again, perhaps you're feeling a little on the crumple side this evening. Perhaps everything is feeling a little bit heavy. Or perhaps you're feeling quite bright and open through your back. Again, this is your chance to assess your body and how we're doing this evening. We come to the mat as a different person, physically, mentally, emotionally, each time. So just knowing where we are at this present moment in time and being fine with that, being okay with whatever is going on for you, perhaps a little niggle or perhaps a little shortness of breath. And coming into a slower, steady flow of breath for your body now. Again, as you inhale, notice the space around the rib cage expanding, the sides of the body extending. And as you exhale, the edges of the body softening away towards the floor, grounding and relaxing. Just gently easing yourself into your space this evening. And with that deeper, steadier flow of breath, again, perhaps we can move that breath around the body to start to open things up a little. Perhaps your spine has already got a little taller. Again, no worries if not, just allowing yourself to be aware of your body, of your breath. And again, this practice this evening welcomes all to the mat, people who haven't practiced yoga before, prenatal, postnatal, again just anybody who is feeling in the need of a little stretch this evening. So taking your time to notice which category you fall into and being honest with your body. Knowing to practice with honesty is to practice for the best of your body, of your breath, of your mental and emotional well-being. And with that said, take a nice big breath into the center of your chest, opening your heart. Big grounding sigh to release. Sealing that moment in prayer. Blinking eyelids open, raising gaze. Namaste. So again, if you want to come into any alternative position, please do so. But if you're happy like this, then we're just going to take a gentle arcing stretch for your body. So bring your right hand behind. Again, you can still do this crossing your legs, that's absolutely fine. And as you inhale, you're going to lift your left arm up, opening up the chest, raising your gaze, squeezing the back shoulder in towards its socket, drawing elbow down in towards the back as you open up. Just see how that feels to the side of the body. Big breath in. And then as you exhale, gently release, rolling back onto the pelvis. Again, changing sides, left hand behind. Inhale up and open through the right arm, extending and lengthening. Pulling that back shoulder all the way in towards its socket as you breathe here. How does that feel for the lower back? Again, we're not there to judge, we're just there to be aware. Exhale, coming all the way down. This time, as you come up, reach and extend, and you're going to take that hand behind the back of the head. So just nestle it on the base of the skull, so you've got support for the back of the head. And then from here, as you inhale, start to extend that arm up, lifting the back of the skull, and taking the gaze towards the ceiling to look underneath that left elbow. A nice big breath in and out here. Again, see how that feels to the middle back, the lower back. Breathe into those spaces at the back of the rib cage. Again, if you have a lovely big baby bump, that space above the bump, I'm sure that feels really good to open it up. And then on the next inhale, float the arm all the way up. And then exhale to bring it behind. So changing onto the other side again, right arm lifts, pushing down through the back fingertips, and then taking the hand, again replacing it on the back of the skull. So as you push forward through the rib cage and lift the gaze, you're supporting the back of the head and gently easing up through the back of the neck. Again, you're turning to look slightly towards the right hand side. Really big breaths underneath the shoulder blades into the back of the rib cage. And then inhale it all the way up. And then exhale, bring the hand behind. So again, this time you can come into that straightforward lift, or if you're feeling comfortable and you're not cross-legged, then you can lift up through the pelvis to extend that length even further down the side body. Big breath in. And then exhale, coming to sit back down. Inhale up through right arm. Again, nice big extension. You don't have to lift the hips, but if you are, then find that length all the way down the right side body. And then as you exhale, gently release to come all the way back. So removing whatever props you have underneath you, and then just come to tap your toes. If you have crossed the legs, come to rest on your shins now. So come up to look like me. And depending on how big the lovely room that you're practicing in, if it's a box room, you may need to come and turn sideways like me on the mat. If you've got enough space, no worries, just stay facing the front of your mat. We're going to come to sit up onto the shins. Maybe you want to place a blanket underneath your knees if it's uncomfortable to sit on the shins, or maybe it's still feeling okay. And then from here, as you inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Nice big lift through the sides of your rib cage this time. Take the hands into clasp and release your index fingers, stretching up through both sides and gluing the arms beside the ears. So you've got a nice long stretch through both sides. Big breath in, big sigh out. On the next inhale, extend your right leg. Again, perhaps you need to turn to the side to make that work. So I'll give you a couple of seconds to make that happen. Or just stay facing the front if you can extend that right leg without knocking anything flying. And then from here, as you exhale, you're going to sway over towards the right. So just a little bit first of all, keeping that bottom arm still glued towards your ear. So it's just a gentle sway over to stretch out through your left side body, making sure that that top shoulder doesn't start to fall forward. We're maintaining that lift for the side of the chest. Big breath in, big sigh out. One more big breath in. You can remain with your hands and arms in this position, or you can take the bottom hand down towards the bottom leg if it's feeling like it's a little bit uncomfortable. But we're going to take the stretch a little bit deeper if it feels okay. Again, that bottom shoulder is drawing down into its socket unless you've got both arms up. So big breath in and out. One more big breath in. And then exhale. Inhale to come back into the center. And you're going to quarter twist to face towards your right. Your right toes are going to come up to meet you. So your torso is now facing towards that right set of toes. And we're going to do one of three things. So we're going to start off either taking the arms back, leaning forward, taking a breath or two here, reaching the toes back towards the face. And we have the alternative, if you want to stay here, that's fine. If you're feeling like, again, it's a little bit uncomfortable, place your right hand onto your right thigh and your left hand onto your left hip, but maintain shoulder pointing down towards that right set of toes. Again, there's not too much weight on that right hand, leaning forward. If it's still feeling good to reach behind, you can bring the hands into clasp, again extending index fingers away from you in Kali Mudra, and reach the chest forward whilst reaching those shoulders back. So nice big breath in and out. And then on the next inhale, use those hands, if you've got them behind you, to pull you all the way up. And then turn those toes to face towards the floor. Torso faces towards the front again, lifting arms up as you inhale. And then as you exhale, the left hand comes down onto the floor. So maybe, and the right hand is going to sweep over the head, maybe you can place your whole palm on the floor, or maybe we prop up onto fingertips, depending on how you're feeling this evening. Either is great, but make sure that that bottom shoulder is getting pulled back into its socket. Nice long stretch over the head. Big breath in. As you exhale, you're going to turn to look towards the floor. Sweep the hand all the way down and start to make a nice big circle. Keep it close to your body as you inhale, lift it all the way up. Following it with your gaze, as you exhale, cartwheeling all the way forward and down. Again, inhale, sweeping it all the way up, side your body, nice big lift. And as you exhale, coming all the way forward and down. Last time, inhale, sweeping it all the way up. And this time, as you exhale, bring that hand alongside your left hand. Again, maybe you need to prop yourself up on one of your cushions, or a block or something else that you have around you. We're not going to stay here long, but we're going to bend into your right leg and start to lengthen out through this right side body. So as you bend into that leg and sit towards the back, see if you can draw your inner elbows into the center, looking towards that right foot. See if you can keep those shoulders even. Nice long breaths here, working through that left quad muscle too. And then inhale, coming all the way back into the center and bringing that kneecap down. So just come to sit onto the shins for a moment. Give yourself a gentle roll of the shoulders, a wriggle of the shoulders. And then as you inhale, come all the way up. Lift and lengthen, again coming into our Kali Mudra, releasing index fingers, reaching up, gluing your arms beside your ears. Next inhale, taking that left foot out to the side. Again, perhaps you were okay with your right leg out to the side and you may need to reconfigure your mat. On this side, no worries. Just making sure that you're nice and comfortable with that leg extended. Toes are pointing forward. And arms are glued towards the ears. Again, we're keeping the torso facing towards the front. And as you exhale, we're gently waving over towards the left. Again, that bottom elbow wants to bend away from you, but just no need to come over too far. Keep it nice and long. Big extended breaths all the way down that right side body. Feeling good to make those long, expansive breaths down into the lower side. One more big breath in. And again, as you exhale, either just take it a little bit further over with arms up, or you can place the bottom hand down, in which case make sure that that bottom shoulder stays into its socket as you breathe. Again, long, expansive breaths here. And then inhale to come all the way back up. As you exhale, quarter twist to face towards those left toes as they come and point towards you now. Again, the aim is to get your body to come to point towards those toes. So both shoulders are coming to point towards those toes. And again, your choice. We're going to start off with the hands reaching back and leaning forward through the chest. If this becomes uncomfortable, left hand onto thigh, right hand onto waist. Again, maintain that pull back of the shoulders, lift forward through the chest. Or you can bring your hands into clasp and release those index fingers to reach away from you. And a little bit of a deeper stretch for shoulders as well as the back of your leg and the side of your body. A nice big extensive breath here. Again, if you can, reaching forward through the chest, reaching back through the tailbone, reaching up through those toes, back through your left hip. And then as you inhale, come all the way back up, turning those toes again to point towards the front, lifting both arms. And as you exhale, we're going to take that right hand down underneath your right shoulder. Again, you can stay up on fingertips or you can bring the whole palm down, but bottom shoulder is in towards its socket. You wouldn't, most people don't even realize their shoulder is up towards their ear, but if you can, really pull it back so you've got strong side body. So big breath in and out here, reaching over the head. Really lifting up through that left side as you breathe. And then on your next exhale, turn to face towards the floor, reaching down through that front arm. And as you inhale, keep it close to your body, lift it up and over your head. Exhale again as you come down. Let the breath denote your circle time. Inhale to come all the way up. Exhale to come all the way down. And then last one. Inhale to come all the way up. And as you exhale, that hand is going to place itself next to your right hand. And we're going to start to come into your left knee. So bend that left knee. Keep that push through both arms. And look towards your left foot. Again, nice long stretch through the side. If you have a big baby bump or you don't feel that comfortable, you can come up onto those fingertips and still get the same thing. See if we can pull your right shoulder back into its socket. So big breath in and out. And then come all the way back. Again, you're going to draw the knees into the centre. Give yourself a nice big inhale to stretch. If you're not already facing the front of your mat, turn to face the front now. Place your hands down, tuck your toes, and then come up onto your fingertips so you've got full support. If you have a big baby bump, take your knees and your toes wide. If not, you can keep them together. You're going to roll onto the balls of your foot and then onto the heels of your feet, and you're going to start to stretch through the backs of your legs. So your fingertips are not underneath your shoulders, they're reaching forward, and you're going to push all the way onto the heels of the feet. So it's a really nice lengthening stretch for your shoulders. It's like a really narrow downward dog. Again, doesn't matter how wide your legs apart are. Just keep them wide enough to accommodate bump if you have one. And then a gentle stretch of the neck as you look from left to right. And then from here, you're going to roll yourself up. So slide your fingertips back towards you so you can bring all the way onto your heels. Bend your knees. Rolling yourself up, still looking towards the floor, still looking towards the floor. And then give yourself that big reset, shoulder roll up, back and down. If you're not at the front of your mat, come towards the front of your mat and take yourself a really big extended reach out to the side and up. And then as you exhale, trace the front of your body with your prayer. You're going to inhale up halfway again. If you have a lovely baby bump, legs nice and wide, and then as you exhale, bend and fold. So just hang out here for a moment with heavy shoulders, heavy arms, heavy neck. Then those really big engaging breaths, getting you back into the rhythm of your breath. And then on the next inhale, you're going to come into Utkatasana, chair pose. So again, if you have a lovely big baby bump, then take your feet as wide as the mat, and maybe you want to bring your hands down onto your thighs to make sure that you're nice and comfortable. If not, you have no more excuses. Come into a nice comfortable chair pose. Again, we don't want to make it too hard on the thighs, so you don't have to sit all the way down, just nice and relaxing through the shoulders, keeping the weight away from your toes. Again, keep the shoulders down into their sockets. Nice long breaths here. So one more big breath in. As you exhale, again, you're going to roll your belly over the thighs and allow the head to fall. Stretch the legs out a little bit. Maybe wriggle your toes a little. And then bending back into those knees as you roll yourself up, heavy head, heavy shoulders. Again, that reset, shoulder roll up, back and down. Wriggle the toes on your left foot. Bring your hands onto your waist and shift the weight into that left foot. A gentle swing forwards and backwards with your right foot, keeping that foot flexed. Again, the shoulders come down, the back body, the breath is super long. And on the next inhale, that right knee comes up, flexing through that right foot, opening up through the baseline of the toes. And then as you exhale, just coming forward into a really soft warrior two. So nothing too strenuous, but just a gentle balance here. Shoulders back. Bending through the left knee as you take your right foot all the way over to the right side of your mat and your left foot all the way over to your left side of the mat. So you're in warrior one, but really super wide warrior one. So still both hips pointing towards the front as you reach your arms up. As you exhale, shoulders come down the back into their sockets, and we're going to bring those elbows in line with your shoulders. So turn the palms to face towards you, fingertips nice and wide. Again, the shoulders are dropped as you start to bring your elbows into the center. So just turning towards you to see what that looks like. See if you can bring the little finger and your elbows as much together as possible. Still pushing through that right foot to bring right hip round to the front. On your next inhale, raise your gaze, raise your elbows. And as you exhale, your shoulders are coming down again back into their sockets. If it's uncomfortable for your neck to look up, just look towards your elbows. So one more big breath in. And then as you exhale, float the arms behind, lean into that left thigh, allow the shoulders to come back. So rather than a flat spine, you're pushing your hips in line with your body. So we have 45 degrees between crown of the head and right heel, but shoulders are still in line with the front of your mat. Big breath in, big sigh out. Take your left hand to your sacrum and your right hand to your left thigh. Roll your left shoulder up, back and down, a gentle twist. Push into that left hand. So big breath in and out here. And then next inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. And then as you exhale, bring those arms out into a warrior two position, but your right hand is going to reach towards the right back corner of your mat, and your left hand is going to reach towards the top left corner of your mat. So you're in a diagonal shape from right back to top left. So big breath in. As you exhale, big sigh. Soften into those hips. As you inhale, straighten your left leg, reach your arms up and turn to face towards the top right corner of your mat. As you exhale, warrior two, but again, left hand, left top, right hand, right back. Inhale, stretching left leg, turning towards the top right. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten up. Exhale, warrior two. Left arm, left knee, turning that right arm over the head as you push into that left arm to really stretch up in our side angle stretch. Big breath in, big breath out. One more big breath in. And then as you exhale, just turn to face the floor. Bring both fingertips down and take your right foot towards the outer edge of your mat. Just give yourself a little sway, lifting up each set of toes and then turning towards those toes, shifting the bottom towards the opposite direction, just to give yourself a little stretch out through your legs. And then from here, inhale up halfway. Exhale, bend and fold. So heel toeing your feet slightly closer together unless you've got big baby bump, in which case leave it there. And then gently roll yourself up. Again, nice and slow, nice and steady through that roll. Shoulders nice and soft. And then give them a reset, shoulder roll up, back and down. Inhale, sweeping your arms out and up. Exhale, place the hands into prayer and come all the way down, tracing the front of the body. Again, nice big halfway lift. Exhale, bend and fold. Again, with that nice heavy head, slowly making your way back up. Reset, shoulder roll up, back and down. Taking the hands onto the waist and wriggling the toes on your right foot. Again, we're just going to give yourself a little sway with that left hip. So take the left foot forwards and backwards, flexing into that foot. Nice big lift through the center of your body, shoulders soft. And then on the next upswing, bend the knee, flexing the foot. You don't have to lift it so high. Just take a moment to see how that feels. In and up through pelvic floor to support the body. And then gently pushing that heel back into a really soft warrior two. So big breath in and out, shoulders again back, chest is reaching forward. Again, I'm going to turn to the other side just so that you can see me from the right side, and then bend into that right foot knee. Take the left foot back. Again, we want to be as wide as we can. So right foot is on the right side of the mat, left toes are turned out, but towards the left side of the mat in our warrior one, really wide warrior one stance. So left hip comes round to the front. As you inhale, lift your arms. And then as you exhale, soften your shoulders, your thighs, and start to bring your elbows in line with those shoulders. Fingertips open, little fingers pointing towards each other, and then start to draw your elbows in towards the center. If you can, to touch, if not, no worries. On the next inhale, raise those elbows. As you exhale, drop the shoulders. Again, so as we push those shoulders down, see if you can get more weight into that left foot to really lengthen out through the leg. And again, if it's too tough to look up for the neck at this precise moment, just look towards the elbows. Grounding breaths here. So one more big breath in, and then exhale, aeroplane arms. Shoulders come back into their sockets, chest is reaching forward. Again, everything is in one line, left heel to crown of the head. So nice and long through that stance, shoulders back. Big breath in, big sigh out. And then sweeping right hand to the lower back, the sacrum, left hand to your right thigh. Rolling that right shoulder up, back and down, just gently turning to look over that right shoulder. Again, make sure left shoulder doesn't come up towards the ear. Nice and open through that side. And then next inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. As you exhale, coming out into warrior two. Again, right arm is pointing towards right top, left arm, left bottom. So reaching open through those palms, turning to look towards the right fingertips. Soften the thighs as you exhale. Inhale, take the pressure off that right thigh as you turn towards top left and reach both arms long. Exhale, breath to come down. Inhale, breath to sweep up. See if you can pull the back of that right thigh to lengthen. Exhale to soften. Inhale to lift. And exhale to soften. Last one, big breath in. And then as you exhale, coming all the way down with that right arm onto the right knee, sweeping left arm over the head, pushing into the right arm to draw that right shoulder back so that we're opening up through the side of the body, getting space. Again, that really big breath in and out here. Big sigh as you release. And then bring both hands down onto the floor. Hop that left foot onto the outer edge of the mat, and then come onto your fingertips as you gently lift your left toes and sway the bottom towards the right, and then come back to the other side. Just gently releasing the back of those legs. And then from here, inhale up halfway. As you exhale, bend and fold. And just let the head be heavy. Let the shoulders grow heavy. Again, that really big breath in and out. So we're going to come down into our Asana squat, which is our prayer squat, which we did the other day. If you know that your heels come up off the floor, place your rolled towel or 2 pillows underneath your heels so you've got support, so that when you come down that your heels are on the floor or on something, rested on something. If not, and you don't need it, no worries, that's fine. Again, if you're heavily pregnant and you don't want to be here, stick a block or a couple of pillows underneath your bottom so that you are supported. When you come into a comfortable space, turn to face the front so everyone can see. Bring your hands into prayer at heart. Upper arms on the inside of your legs, and as you inhale, bring those hands into the center of your chest, thumbs onto your breastbone to open up the inner thighs. Again, shoulders down, tailbone is grounding all the way down towards the floor. Again, close your eyes when you're here to allow that breath to open up, to nourish your body. Expansive breaths again across the chest, across the back, easing their way down into low spine. Really big breath in and out. And then blinking eyelids open if they're not already. And hopefully the ankles are feeling good. We're going to take the right hand, make sure the arm is on the inside of the knee, and bring it out to the side. We're going to unhook the left arm and reach it up. So push the arm into the knee into the arm, so you get a nice big stretch. Big breath in, big sigh out. One more big breath in. And then as you exhale, again hook the left arm on the inside of the knee and stretch the hand out. As you next inhale, open up through that right arm. Big sigh out. Big breath in. Big sigh out. One more big breath in. And then as you exhale, gently release. So, plopping your bottom down, removing any obstacles out of your way if you haven't already, and then take your legs down to straight. So just give yourself a little wiggle, maybe a little squeeze of the thighs, a massage around your kneecaps if they're feeling a little bit tight still, and then go all the way down to your ankles. And then from here, again I'm going to come sideways, doing a little bit sideways this evening. We're going to come and stretch the legs out. Again, hopefully you've got enough space around you so that you're not compromised, shall we say, and your foot isn't under a cat or something. But I'll give you a minute to make sure that you're in a nice comfortable position. Again, perhaps if you are sacrum sitting, which means sitting into your low spine and you find it really hard to sit up straight, then prop yourself up on a cushion, just on the edge of your cushion, so that you're sitting with your hips allowing them to roll off the edge of the cushion, so you're nice and upright. And then from here, as you inhale, raise your arms. So really big, tall stretch through the sides of your body. Allow your toes to come with you as you lift. So really stretching out through the base of the feet. And then as you exhale, bring those fingertips behind you. So pushing into your fingertips. Again, it's a sensation of rocking forward onto your pelvis that we're trying to get. So pushing into those fingertips, lifting your chest. Try not to lead with your chin. Keep your head in line with your spine. You're going to start to walk those fingertips forward. Again, perhaps this is a really good enough stretch for you this evening, in which case, please do stay here. Don't need to do anything else. If you do want an increased stretch, you can bring your hands forward. Again, make sure that your chest is lifted. Be honest with your body. I can't see you, so just be really, really honest with yourself as to whether your body has changed position, in which case bring your hands back to prop you up. If not, you can still reach yourself forward and you can come onto your elbows. Again, shoulders are down, chest is lifted. Just take a moment here. Again, we want to steady the flow of breath for your body. Still keeping the underside of those thighs releasing as you breathe. Toes still moving their way back towards the face. Again, that really big breath in and out here. And then from here, as you exhale, let the toes go, let the head go. Let's let everything relax over those legs. So again, no tension through the body now. And then very slowly start to walk yourself back up. So again, roll the shoulders up, back and down. I'm going to come to, now we've done the underside of the thighs, we're going to come to the outer edge of your hips, but also that sciatic nerve that runs down the back of your legs. I know sometimes everybody can get sciatica, but sometimes pre and postnatal are susceptible to it, shall we say. So we're going to come and see if we can get into one position. Don't worry if you can't get into it, we have an alternative. But we're going to aim to get into this first position. So right foot is going to come towards your left side of the mat, and then your left ankle bone, not foot, not inside of the foot, ankle bone is going to come on top of your right knee. So if your position looks like this, you won't really get the stretch. So it needs to be ankle bone on top of kneecap. If that means you now look like this, don't worry, you can straighten out your bottom leg, your right leg, but still ankle bone needs to be on top of the kneecap. So again, I'll wait for you to get into the right positions. You can always prop yourself up onto blocks as well if you're just a little bit shy of bringing both sit bones down onto the floor. And we're aiming to get shin bone on top of shin bone if you've got both legs engaged. But again, either way, you'll still get the stretch, so don't worry too much. Heels of the hands onto your knee and your ankle. The reason I say heels of the hands is because when you bring your fingertips down over your knees, you tend to draw your leg up, whereas we want to push it away. So flex both feet, and as you inhale, lift the chest. Again, if you've got a really big baby bump, maybe there's not that much room, but we're moving our body forward rather than over or rounding the back. So everything should be moving forward in that straight line. So as you exhale, again, your heart is reaching towards the front of your mat, your head is in line with your spine, and your shoulders are moving down your back. So long breaths in and out here. Again, you can close your eyes if you're feeling comfortable. That will assess where your breath is moving to, how that is feeling in your body. If you can go a little bit further, you can bring your fingertips on the floor. Again, it's up to you, but chest is still lifted and still reaching forward rather than down. So nice big breaths, keeping those feet flexed, keeping your body engaged, but the shoulders are still soft. Really big breaths along the back body. So one more big breath in. And again, as you exhale, let everything fall. Let the toes relax, let the upper body soften. Let everything release over those legs. And then very slowly, roll yourself up. So we're going to come into a gentle twist from here. If you do have a baby bump, stay with your legs like this or like this, and place your right hand onto your left knee and just gently turn to look towards the side. If you don't have a baby bump, then you can place that top foot onto the floor. And you can just you can do the same, but we're going to get a bit more of a stretch in. So lifting up as you inhale, and then gently turning to look towards the back of the room. Again, it's really important if you have that baby bump that we're not twisting from the lower spine. we want to make sure that we're just twisting from the middle back upwards. So be good to your body. Big breath in, big sigh out. One more big breath in. And then as you exhale, turn to face the front and gently unwind. A small counter stretch, just taking both hands over to the opposite direction and looking over your shoulder. I forgot to introduce you to my Easter family, my new chickie, bunny and parrot. I'm not really sure about the parrot, but there we go. That's my Easter family. And then you're going to take your legs out straight as you come back. Again, just give yourself a little wiggle before you come on to the other direction. So again, if you had your underleg straight, then just bring your left leg to straight away on this side. And it's your ankle bone, we want the right ankle bone on top of that left thigh. Flex your feet, shin bone on top of shin bone, and then heels of the hands onto your ankle and the inside of your knee. As you inhale, lift up. Again, as you exhale, we're leaning forward through that stretch. Shoulders are coming down. It's a really straight line for the back of your body. Again, if you start to round your back, all of that stretch goes away from that sciatic nerve, that space around the glute that we're trying to get to. So using your breath, leaning into it. And you can close your eyes if it feels good to do so. Letting everything open up through the back of those legs, into those hips. So long breath in, big sigh to release. Let the toes go, let the whole of the body go, back of the neck long. And let really slow roll up, come back up to seated. Again, pregnant, stay where you are. Left hand onto the right knee, fingertips behind, and just come and gaze up over that shoulder. If not, and you want to go a little bit further, that top foot comes all the way over so that we can lift up to create that really straight spine. Roll the back shoulder away and get that nice long twist here. Again, big breath in and out. And then turn to face towards the front and gently unwind. So both hands onto the other side as you counter stretch. And then come back to the center. Again, we want to take both legs out to give them a nice releasing wiggle. Hopefully you don't feel too bad here. So if you are pregnant and in your latter part of the second or third trimester and you don't want to be on your back, then skip the next bit and go into some Kegels, pelvic floors, and some cat-cows to release your back body. If you're feeling good, then we can come all the way down onto our backs. So this is where you want your rolled up towel / blanket. Again, if you are pregnant and you feel like you can take a couple of minutes on your back, then that's great. But just at any point, if it's not feeling good, if it feels kind of squishy, then come out of it and come into one of those other positions. We want your rolled up towel to be underneath your shoulder blades, lengthways on the mat. So just underneath your shoulder blades, take the hair burnt out. And your tops of your shoulders are going to be on the floor, so it doesn't need to be too bulky, just a little bit of elevation. And then you're going to take your palms out to the side. Bring your feet a little bit closer to tuck your tailbone under so that you're nice and comfortable here. Let your neck be super long, tuck your chin. And then just a gentle rock of the head from left to right. Again, just to release any last minute tension around your upper back. And then come back into the centre. You're going to let your right leg go to the side, so your right kneecap fall out to the side, and you're going to stretch your left leg up to the ceiling. A gentle rotation around that left ankle. A couple of times one way, a couple of times the other way. Again, nothing too strenuous, but finding that blood flow moving a different way through your body and opening up that ankle against, not against gravity, so opening with that nice releasing stretch. And then kicking that heel up towards the ceiling so you've got a nice bit of length through that leg, and then sending it all the way down towards the floor. So really drawing your tailbone down as you extend it all the way out. Lifting that right kneecap in, planting the left foot in, and then sending the left kneecap out to the side. Again, your right heel is going to stretch up towards the ceiling, nice and long and open as you take those ankle rolls. Make sure the chin is slightly tucked in towards the chest, so you've got a nice relaxing back of the neck, nice and long through the back of the neck. And then circling the other way if you haven't started to do so already. And then from here, kicking up through that heel again, really stretching up through that leg, opening through the back of the knee, the back of the thigh, and then allowing that right leg to come all the way down towards the floor, hugging in and up through pelvic floor if you can. Again, that left kneecap now comes up towards the ceiling. Right foot comes back in to join you as you tuck your tailbone under and just lift up through the pelvis for a moment. Just gently rocking your hips from left to right. See how that feels to shift the weight from one side to the other, nice and long through your low back. Again, perhaps if you have big baby bump, this doesn't feel so good, in which case just come over to relax on your left hand side now with a cushion between the knees and one underneath your head. And then from here, as you inhale, lift the hips a little bit further, just to come into a nice big bridge pose. Squeezing the thighs, extending your breath. So one more big breath in and out here. And then you're going to remove that towel, hopefully. It will be in a nice place for you to be able to do so, and then tuck the tailbone under as you come all the way down onto the floor. Again, knees in towards the chest. If you are pregnant now, please do come onto your left hand side. Just a little bunny hop to release lower back, and then gently take those knees to left and right. So just a gentle twist to release. Let your arms come out to shoulder height. Hook your right ankle over your left knee and allow those knees to come over towards the right. Again, perhaps this is a little bit intense, in which case unhook that right leg and bring the knees together. If not, staying here, turning to look towards the left. So nice big breaths in and out here. And just letting your body unwind and relax. If you do have a baby bump, just giving yourself a moment to acknowledge your lovely bump, giving it a gentle rub. And then inhale, bring the knees back into the center, unhook, rehook, or not if the case may be, and then come over to the left. Again, rolling that right shoulder up, back and down, turning to look towards the right. Just allowing the whole body to relax and gently release away from that stretch. And then inhale to come all the way back. Again, as you exhale, just come back into our shavasana. Suggested alternative today is, because we've got our rolled up blanket, you might as well bring it underneath your knees. Just a little bit of extra support for your low spine. as you come into this relaxed space for your body. So grabbing a blanket if you have one, letting those toes fall, relaxing through the legs, through the back of the knees. Allowing the thighs to soften and sink, falling heavy now into the earth. No tension through the back of the thighs, the hips, lower spine. The middle back, upper back, growing heavy as you breathe. Shoulders falling away into stillness. Arms heavy, palms soft. Back of the head melting away into the earth. A softness through the face. An ease to your breath. Coming to relax in this safe space, in this stillness, resting your awareness on the center of your eyebrows. Starting to wriggle fingers and toes, maybe swallowing, maybe licking the lips, wriggling through ankles and wrists, giving yourself that really big full stretch, maybe reaching the arms over the head, big sigh out to release. If you're not already on your side, then taking your time to come over to one side, still with eyes closed. Taking a breath here. And then super slowly, again still with eyes closed, coming back into a comfortable cross-legged seat. Allowing the palms now to rest face down, chin towards the chest. Taking those deeper extended breaths here. Allowing the body to restore, replenish, rejuvenate. And as we do so, giving ourselves this moment, as always, to be thankful for our practice. To have gratitude for all that we are, for all that we have. take on all the positivity, love and life that we have to offer. Bringing the hands together, rubbing them to gently warm them. Placing them as cups over the eyes. A gentle massage through the sockets before we flutter eyelids open and bring the hands down into prayer. Namaste. Thank you always, as always, for joining me on the mat this evening. I really hope you enjoyed our super grounding session. And as always, again, if you know anybody that works for the NHS, please do pass it on to them, because I'd love it to be filtered through to give some of our NHS heroes that extra bit of grounding. But again, share with all of your friends too if you can. If you do have any spare pennies, then there's a link to donate below. If not, that's all good too. But I really appreciate you joining me on the mat this evening, and hopefully I will see you again very soon. We have our energizing flow on Wednesdays, and if not, again, our grounding session on a Monday. Okay, namaste. Good evening.